There once was a little girl named Jessica who had always worn her hair down to school. She woke up one morning and thought, I wonder how I could change my hair so that I could be different. She decided to wear her hair in a ponytail. She went downstairs and sat at the breakfast table and asked her mother to put her hair into a ponytail. So Jessica's mother pulled and brushed and put Jessica's hair into the most perfect ponytail and sent her off to school. When Jessica got to school, she noticed her classmates were pointing and whispering and laughing at her. She didn't understand. They all pointed and chanted, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Well, Jessica didn't cry. Jessica didn't run home and tell her mother. She knew her ponytail looked good, and she told her classmates that she would wear her hair however she liked. Well, the next morning, Jessica came downstairs and sat at the breakfast table and said to her mother, "Mom, I want to wear my hair in a ponytail again today, but I'd like it to be on the side of my head." So Jessica's mother brushed and pulled and put Jessica's hair into the most perfect side ponytail and sent her off to school. Well, when Jessica got to school, she noticed something different about her classmates. None of them had ever worn their hair in a ponytail before, but now half of the class had ponytails. Jessica found this odd. Just the day before, they had been laughing and making fun of her ponytail. So she asked them, "What are you all doing? You made fun of my ponytail yesterday." Well, they said, "We changed our minds, but look at you." And they started whispering and pointing and laughing again, chanting, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Well, Jessica said the same thing she had the day before. She knew she looked good, and she told her classmates she would wear her hair however she wanted. So, the next morning, when Jessica came downstairs for breakfast, her mother said, "Jessica, how are we wearing our hair today?" Well, Jessica was going to outsmart her classmates, and she said, "Mom, I want a ponytail again, but this time I want it on the top of my head." So Jessica's mother brushed and pulled and put Jessica's hair into the most beautiful ponytail straight on top of her head and sent Jessica off to school. Well, Jessica walked into the building, looked around at her classmates, and couldn't believe what she saw. Almost everyone was wearing their hair in a side ponytail. She said, "Again? You copied my hair again? You laughed at me yesterday." Well, her classmates said, "We changed our mind, but look at you." And they were whispering and pointing and laughing at her, chanting, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Well, Jessica did the same thing as she had the 2 days before. She knew she looked good, and she told her classmates she would wear her hair however she wanted. At this point, Jessica was fed up. She went home that night and thought about how she could get her classmates to stop making fun of her and stop copying her. All of a sudden, she had it. She ran and asked her mom to help her with the plan, and they set it into motion. The next morning, when Jessica came downstairs, her mother helped her hide her hair. You see, they make these special coverings for your head. They're called a bald cap. You may have seen them on TV and the movies they use them. So Jessica's mother pushed and covered, and you couldn't see one single piece of Jessica's hair. And she sent her off to school. Well, Jessica walked in that building full of confidence, looked around at all of her classmates, and of course, They were wearing their hair in a ponytail on the top of their heads, even the boys. And they looked so foolish with tiny ponytails sticking straight up in the air. When her classmates saw her, they gasped. They couldn't believe what they saw. Jessica was bald. Well, they did what they had done the 3 days before. They pointed and whispered and laughed at Jessica, chanting, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." Well, Jessica paid them no mind. While she didn't think that a bald head was her best look, she walked around that school with confidence, like she owned the place, regardless of what all of her classmates were saying. Jessica skipped home from school that day. She couldn't wait to go to bed and wake up the next day and see what happened when she got to school. She got up in the morning, came downstairs for breakfast. Her mother was afraid to ask how she wanted her hair done that day. And Jessica simply requested the original ponytail that she had wanted before everybody started copying her and making fun of her. So her mother brushed and pulled and put Jessica's hair into the most perfect ponytail and sent her off to school. Now, Jessica was hoping her plan had worked. But when she walked into the front doors of her school and saw what her classmates had done, she was shocked. Every last one of them had shaved their heads bald. Not a single hair in sight. Jessica could hardly contain her laughter. But she didn't do what her classmates did. She didn't whisper. She didn't point. She didn't laugh. She didn't chant, "Ugly, ugly, very ugly." She just stood and smiled at everyone. Now her classmates couldn't believe what they saw. Jessica with a full head of hair. They didn't understand. They shouted, "How? Why? You were bald yesterday." And Jessica told them about her plan. She explained that she wore a ball cap because she was tired of everybody copying her and making fun of her, so she wanted to teach them a lesson. Well, Jessica's plan worked. She never again worried about any of her classmates copying her hair or making fun of her again.